Okay, great. Marino's back. Ethan Ranieri's looking good. Lewis Skelly can play midfield. Declan Rice is great. But let's just talk about Thomas Partey, who I think has been really, really good this season. I know the earlier games, it was hard for him to get the rhythm, get the momentum, but I feel like recently, especially against PSG last night, it was really, really, really impressive. And I'm just going to be talking about Thomas Partey, what I feel like he's really good at in this team, and maybe what we can look like with him, Marino, Rice, Odegaard, and everyone back into the side. But before I begin, if you are new here, please smash a like, hit the subscribe button too. It'll be greatly appreciated if you're new here. So yeah, Thomas Partey, a player who's obviously been injured quite a lot during his Arsenal career, obviously in his last year of his Arsenal contract. And I feel like, he's a player who gets a lot of, criticism from a certain section of the fan base. I know there's a massive, following towards Thomas Partey. I see it under the comment section of every video I make talking about Thomas Partey, telling me off about not, bigging up Thomas Partey enough. But I am a big fan of Thomas Partey as a player. I think he's really, really good. The sort of things he does, you can't get that from any other midfielder. I just feel him being in the number 6 position is an impactor on Declan Rice's performances, in the fact that Declan Rice is best used where Thomas Partey plays. So if you're going to play Thomas Partey, I don't feel like there's a place maybe for Declan Rice. And that's probably why I'm a bit against Thomas Partey still being the side when Marino is back and ready and fit. But yeah, Thomas Partey, he does that lovely ball out to Bukayo Saka so many times per game. The confidence, the quality, the ability to find that ball out there, it's really, really good to see that from Thomas. And I feel like, when a player has that ability to consistently, pick out a pass like that out to Saka, it's really, really good, because we want Saka in the most 1v1 situations because he's one of our dangerous players. So when you see a player able to execute the pass out to Saka, it's really, really good. So if you even look at the clips, the goals this season, you will see Thomas Partey's involvement. And what I also really love from Thomas Partey this season is his tight control. He looks really, really good on the ball this season in terms of technically close control, keeping the ball close to his feet. Yes, he's given the ball away, in dangerous situations at times, but you're going to get that from any player, and most players. It's just more detrimental when it's coming from your number 6. Maybe you want a player who can kind of slow it down, the tempo, know how to slow down a game. But Thomas Partey, his only thing in his mind is to pick a pass, get us moving, get us going forward. And that's okay. We need those sort of players in the side, and Thomas Partey definitely has the ability to constantly try and keep the game ticking forward fast. And we need that, especially against low blocks. We need the quick passing, because you're not going to break down low blocks if you're not passing quickly. And in terms of his anticipation as well, I feel like Thomas Partey, although he's lost the athleticism, his anticipation of the ball, where the ball is really, really good. And big kudos to him, to be honest. He's really does read the game so well at times, and I feel like as Arsenal fans we need to appreciate that. I look at the PSG game, for example. There was times where Thomas Partey would pick up the ball, or see the ball bouncing around, and he just sniff it out, pick it out, win the ball back, then play it safe. There's always this argument that Thomas Partey hasn't got the legs. That's true, but he has definitely got the anticipation, the quality to know where the ball is, the quality to pounce and read the game. And when you have a player like Thomas Partey able to read the game, able to see these situations, it's really, really helpful, because we want to minimize the amount of attacks the opposition has, and you need your midfielders, Declan Rice's, Thomas Partey's, Marino's, anyone who's in there, to be able to be on it, to read the ball, because sustaining pressure is so important for a team like us who's trying to score loads of goals and catch the machine that is Manchester City and Liverpool this season. So yeah, Thomas Partey really, really impressive in that sort of way. And we've got to also consider, when we talk about Thomas Partey and we criticise him, just think about the opposition we've played against. Leicester is probably the only opposition this season where I can be like, all right, maybe we should have been a bit better. Maybe Thomas Partey wasn't at those levels. But in sort of the game states that we've been playing against, the Aston Villa, where they like to run, power, energy, that's not a game that Thomas Partey thrives in. But on the ball against Aston Villa, he was really, really good. So there's always a positive when Thomas Partey plays, and that's really, really important. If he was playing games and you couldn't even pick out one positive from his performances, then I would worry. But there's always something that's been positive. Against PSG, the way he was sniffing out the ball was really good. The way he was on the ball was really good as well. The way he was covering the small little spaces was really good as well. So there's always something I can say positively, and that shows that he's been really strong this season. Of course, I feel like, maybe Marino dislodging Thomas Partey isn't as easy as we think it is. I don't think it's as easy to dislodge Thomas Partey as many fans are saying. Marino's got the quality, he's really good, but Thomas Partey, he's a good player, guys. He gives us something that we don't get from the other midfielders, and Marino's going to have to really fight, to find his place in the side, because I feel like Arteta wants this balance, wants this consistency, wants all his best players in the same team. And Marino's just returned from injury, guys. Of course, it's going to take a while anyway. I don't think we'll see significant starts for Marino until, obviously after the international break. So, yeah, we definitely got to, keep with Thomas Partey, keep, sort of praising his performances, because he has been really, really good this season in the games I've seen it on the ball and off the ball as well, because he's a player who needs the rhythm, needs the minutes, needs the consistency to be able to perform at the highest level. There's players like that, and Thomas Partey is definitely one of them that needs that kind of, just needs to be constantly on the move, constantly in these games, constantly involved, and you can't really drop him, because I feel like that's where his levels drop. He's a player who also needs love, and Arteta is giving him this sort of love that he really, really needs. So let's hope he doesn't get injured again. I feel like he's been really impressive, and I think he's properly come back from the injury that's been nagging him. He's really, really looked a lot more stronger now with the minutes he's played this season. But anyway, guys, that's it for now, and until next time, peace.